Today, the Beagles Workshop headed up to McLeansville, North Carolina, which is near Greensboro. It's about a 2-hour ride from our home, and we went to attend the North Carolina Woodworker Annual Picnic. If you've not heard of the North Carolina Woodworkers, check out their website at www.ncwoodworker.net. Johnny and I were introduced to this group by our friend Artisan Pirate. He told us about it, invited us, and has made us feel extremely welcome. This is a group of artisans and woodworkers who get together from time to time, and one of these times is the annual picnic. This is the third time that Johnny and I have been able to attend, and you can see here just an overview as setup was getting started. Over on this table, there were several items that were put out with little plastic containers in front of them. You could purchase tickets. This was in lieu of a silent auction, and so you were able to purchase tickets and then place the tickets into the bucket that you wanted to win from. And you can see several people donated things. We had bowls, we had some scroll saw work from our friend Artisan Pirate. There was another scroller that had put a piece of work in, and then Johnny and I were actually very fortunate to be able to put a piece in this raffle that we had completed earlier. There's a video on our American flag clock, and that was the piece that we were able to put into this raffle. And then over on the other table, as we registered online prior to the event, once we got there, we had name tags, and on those name tags there were different colors. As they called our color, we were able to go up to this free table, and we were all able to select something from this free table. At the very end of the day, after everything had been cleaned up, if there was anything left that you wanted, again, it was free take me, which was really, really awesome. And you can see the variety of things that were there on that table for us. I want to mention too that the NC Woodworkers, they do have a scholarship fund. There is a forum where you can bounce ideas off of each other, as well as a monthly contest. And so again, check out their website and see what they're about. It is free to join. Up here at this table, there was actually several tables all in a row, and there were 95 items. These items had been donated by places like Stated Woods, Epoxy Forms Company, Cling Spore, just so many places donated different carving workshops. There you can see the Work Sharp knife sharpener. There was just so many awesome things on this table. But the two I want to talk about were the big prizes there at the end. There was a Pegasus scroll saw and the DeWalt planer. Both of those you were eligible to win. This was also a raffle. You were able to purchase tickets. And like I mentioned earlier, NC Woodworkers does have a scholarship fund, and so money that was raised goes to a variety of things. And you can just see here all the wonderful things that were donated. Cling Spore donated a good bit of things, and there is that Pegasus scroll saw and that DeWalt planer. So here is just a little bit more of the picnic. This is us mingling around with several fellow woodworkers. We had Artisan Pirate there. We had Nick and Landon from Stated Woods, Jerry Meesmer, the famous hat turner, and the hummingbird housemaker. He was also there. Over in this section was kind of like a swap and shop area. They had a free table where woodworkers had some things. You could make a donation to the NC Woodworker, and then they had like a swap and shop area where they had tools or equipment for cheap. And you can kind of see some of those items that I was just videoing as we went around. In addition to being able to do the raffles and have just different things for purchase, there was also a great meal that we all got to eat together, and so that was a lot of fun. Everybody brought a covered dish. They had a variety of food items, and we greatly enjoyed just getting to spend time together with fellow woodworkers. And after everyone had eaten, then we got down to the business meeting. Like I said, it is the annual picnic where they all come together. And so in addition to the fellowship and the fun and the food, they also had a business meeting, and then they began doing the raffle prizes. They started with the table that I told you that Johnny and I were able to put a piece in, and they just called out the numbers out of those buckets. You can see that people that had purchased tickets put them in what they wanted to win, and then they were able to come up and claim their prize. They had a person there that was taking pictures of all the winners, and so again, it was just a time of fun. with our fellow woodworkers. Something I do want to mention, if you're interested, again, go to their website, www.ncwoodworker.net, and you can find out more about this group and the things that they do. Once they had went through all of those different raffle items on that table, then the president, who is actually getting ready to step down, I believe, and then they'll have a new president coming up. He will be presenting a couple of awards. There you can see Johnny's flag clock there with who won that. But the president there, Richard Moore, he came up and he did a couple of awards that they give out. They call the Golden Mallet Award, and that award is voted on prior to the annual picnic. And so you can see here they were just giving that to someone. And then they also had another award there that they handed out for outstanding work, just working with the technology part of the forum and all the different things. Towards the end of the day, Jerry Meesmer was chosen to come up and to spin the wheel to get the tickets out for the 95 drawings, and they moved through those rather quickly. Again, it's just an amazing day that we had at the North Carolina Woodworker Picnic. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, The Beagles Workshop. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.